Writing Task 2. Band 9 Score Model Essay with Advanced Vocabulary. Question. Men do most of the high-level jobs. Should the government encourage a certain percentage of these jobs to be reserved for women? What is your opinion on that? Use your own knowledge and experience and support your arguments with examples and relevant evidence. You should write at least 250 words. Model Answer 1. Agreement. Though some people would argue that women are working in high-level job positions in many renowned organizations, the reality is that the number of such women employees is very ignorable compared to their male counterparts. As a result, the issue appears to be that the government should reserve a certain percentage of such jobs for women, and this is supported by a group of people while being criticized by another group. In my opinion, the government actually should reserve a percentage of such jobs to maintain equal opportunity, to maintain a balanced workspace, and in the overall economy. First of all, the high-level jobs occupied by the male diminish the balance of power between the male and female in such organizations. Since we are living in a century where we are most sincere in establishing the equal power of men and women, it is very reasonable that women should actually work in such high-level positions. Second, the consumers, end users, and service receivers of a company and organization are both male and female decision-making employees for such companies are equally important compared to the male. Third, the society would like to make a balance between the contribution of males and females and again the power between them. Without letting women work in high-level job positions, it would not be possible. The women are needed to participate in every sphere of society for a better world, and without letting them use their ability, we can't actually expect that. Fourth, the women are improving in terms of education, power, and contribution in the current era more than before, and such a scheme is taken by the government that would inspire them more to run ahead. In third world countries, the fate of a girl is determined when her parents decide if the girl should go to school or should learn to cook and get prepared for marriage. The privilege provided by the government in case of jobs for women would encourage such parents to equally treat their boys and girls. In conclusion, a certain reserved position for women in high-level jobs is actually a good idea to empower the women towards the overall betterment of the organization and society. Model Answer 2. Disagreement. Equality for both men and women is the accepted underpinning philosophy of modern society that we live in. Most constitutions maintain an equal right for men and women. Most public institutions and formal organizations hold an equal view in treating either sex. Despite the fact that male high officials outnumber female high officials by a great margin, in most of the countries there is no legal or statutory bar against women going up the ladder. I am against any kind of positive bias towards women in the form of reserving a percentage of higher positions for women. That will only encourage anomaly, imperfection in practices, and, most importantly, it is not going to serve the ultimate goal of escalating women's positions in a society or in a country's economy unless they earn that by themselves rightfully. In the bygone days, women were primarily engaged in household responsibilities. Women's involvement in economic, organizational, and public activities is not a very old practice. But in the recent decades, things have changed dramatically, and many women in the West are going to the top in career and profession. Even in the third world countries of Asia, Africa, and Latin America, the presence of working women is everywhere, competing with the male counterparts and even surpassing them in many aspects. They are acquiring the necessary education, gaining proper knowledge about their rights, and are in the process of being recognized as organizationally valuable contributors. In Bangladesh, in many instances girls toppled in open public examinations, and their success rate is generally higher than men's. Women are earning professional reputations in their job places as well. Against this backdrop, there is no reason that government should go for reserving positions for women. Instead, a government should take initiatives to eradicate any bias against women and make a favorable work environment for women. Firstly, governments can ensure women's access to education and thus empower them and make them prepared for life, as in many societies women lack education and empowerment. Secondly, women suffer from gender discrimination, chauvinistic behavior, and worse, sexual harassment in workplaces. Governments should have clear and strict policies to ensure an environment where workers from both sexes coexist with ease. Thirdly, women should be entitled to have special conduct during motherhood. Due to the very role of a woman in a family, support from the workplace is important for working women. Women and men both should be viewed as equally capable. If we look over our shoulder, we can see that the number of eligible, skilled, and executive-class working women is actually increasing quickly in recent years. The government should not go for reserving a certain percentage of high-level jobs for women. That will only undermine women's ability, and women will grossly find that their self-respect is on declination. They can find their own way towards the prosperous careers by the virtue and efforts of their own. Model answer 3. Disagreement. High-level jobs have always been held by men. Whether it is the head of the state or the CEO of a multinational company, historically, it has been men who have conquered most of the peaks. Although history has seen women at the peak heights as well, the numbers of such cases have been relatively small. The question of whether there should be a reservation for women in the top positions has increasingly been contemplated by the governments around the world. While such a step would definitely see an increase in the number of peak positions being held by women, it does have its disadvantages. Proponents of the idea of reservation for women cite their underrepresentation as one of the causes. Women have traditionally been underrepresented in the male-dominated society. This has taken a toll on the causes related to women, such as domestic violence. Offering leading positions to women will significantly help such causes. Other people cite equality of both genders as one of the reasons for reservation. In many parts of the world, specifically in developing nations in Asia and the Middle East, women are not treated equally to men. This has led several people to demand reservation for women. They suggest reserving top positions for women would bring a sense of equality among both genders and harmony in society. However, reservation would lead to several problems that are often overlooked. Bringing in reservation would lead to lowering the bar for women. It will lead to many of the positions being filled by women who do not have the required talent and experience, only due to the fact that the positions were reserved for women. This will eventually lead to a fall in productivity and growth of the company or the nation. Such a move would also bring a sense of inequality among men and women, since women would not have to work as hard as men to get the top positions. Rather than bringing in reservations for women for top positions, governments should encourage and support women so they reach these heights rightfully. Support could be in the form of financial aid or free coaching. This would enable women to learn the skills needed to get the top positions and get the top positions without compromising productivity and growth. Model answer 4. Disagreement. The rapid industrialization throughout the 21st century resulted in the startup of multinational companies across the globe. The statistics reported by the Financial Times in September 2015 claim that 90% of the top-level positions are occupied by men on average across all companies. Although I believe that women must be prepared to take over higher positions, I refute that some proportion of top-level jobs is to be reserved for women. Firstly, a company can expect a catastrophic failure if any top-level decision goes astray, especially if the decision involves multi-billion dollars. For instance, a big finance firm named ABC based in Germany went bankrupt in the second quarter of 2014 due to a wrong decision by its president, who was promoted to the top position based on reservation. Moreover, the board of directors needs to scrutinize the top posts with extreme care based on his or her merits, irrespective of gender. Therefore, it is obvious that the top positions should not fall under the reservation policy. Secondly, ignoring an efficient person to fill in a new position leads to discrimination and engenders the lack of motivation among the employees. For example, if a person is simply promoted to the top post, leaving behind the capable colleagues, there are high chances that the colleagues, who think the decision is not fair, will not work efficiently to their caliber. As a result, it is the organization that loses the productivity. Thus, the top positions should never be reserved based on gender or any category. In conclusion, by analyzing how reservation can lead to poor decision-making as well as decreased productivity, reservation should not be in place for top posts. Governments should ensure that they give enough focus to empower women, and head positions should be filled in based on merit irrespective of anything. If you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel.